Tonight, a house fire in Sun Prairie leads to severe damage. How much officials are estimating. And businesses on Willie Street are recovering after protests. How much one thrift store lost as it was lost. Plus, our Stuff the Bus campaign may be over, but you can still help out. How you can support kids heading back to school. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Bella Farrick. New tonight, a house fire in Sun Prairie caused over $225,000 in damages. Yesterday, around 4:45, crews responded to a structure fire on the 300 block of MacArthur Street near Shea Park. When crews arrived, they found the garage engulfed in flames, with the fire spreading toward the living room. Firefighters were able to prevent the spread. Officials also rescued 3 dogs trapped in the basement. Nobody was injured, but preliminary estimates put the structural damage at about $225,000, with an additional $40,000 to $50,000 in damage to the home's interior. The cause and origin are under investigation. In Dodge County, a 70-year-old man is seriously injured after a crash. Officials say a semi hauling corn crashed with a combine harvester this morning. An initial investigation found the vehicles were both traveling east on State Highway 1660 near Lowell this morning. The semi reportedly rear-ended the combine, severely damaging both vehicles. Now, the 25-year-old driving the semi suffered minor injuries, but the 70-year-old driving the combine was flown to the hospital for treatment. The crash is under investigation. Now to Greene County, 2 women are injured after a crash in the town of Decatur. Emergency personnel responded just after 4:30 p.m. to the crash on State Trunk Highway 104. A preliminary investigation found a 31-year-old Beloit woman crossed into the northbound lane and hit a vehicle driven by a 27-year-old from Dakota. EMS transported both women to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Officials cited the Beloit woman for operating without a valid driver's license, failure to maintain control of a vehicle, and operating left of center. A smoking electrical outlet led to a response from the Madison Fire Department at the downtown Nitty Gritty. Firefighters responded around 7:30 p.m. Thursday night for reports of a smoking outlet. After investigating, they found the outlet behind the bar. They noted the outlet appeared to be wet, but found no active fire. Firefighters shut off electrical beakers serving the bar area, and the department advised staff to leave the power off until an electrician evaluates the outlet. In Milwaukee, the Marquette University lacrosse player accused of causing a crash that killed his 2 teammates is heading to trial. Peter P.J. McColgan is facing 2 counts of homicide by negligent operation of a vehicle. A criminal complaint says McColgan was driving 53 miles per hour in a 30 zone. Surveillance video reportedly showed him accelerating as he approached the intersection. The charges stem from a September crash near I-94 and the Marquette University campus. Another driver, Amandria Brunner, was also charged in connection to the crash. She collided with the vehicle carrying McColgan and his teammates. A jury found her not guilty of 6 charges related to the crash last month. Scott Michaud and Noah Snyder both died at the scene. McColgan will be in court September 4th. Let's get a look at your first warn forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, what are we tracking tonight?
Well, we do have a little bit of some shower and thunderstorm activity as expected, developing as we get into the 10 o'clock hour here. But most of that is still staying into northern parts of Illinois, but it's just over the state line across parts of northern Illinois. But it could be impacting southern parts of, say, Rock, as well as Walworth counties, truly just over the border there. Just a few lightning signatures staying about 10 or less. So these are very weak thunderstorms in general. Now, as we zoom on out, we'll put on Futurecast here and track out whether or not these showers and thunderstorms may impact you. There is going to be a chance, especially as we go, I would say, through the midnight hour across southeastern Wisconsin. But these showers and thunderstorms are going to struggle if they do cross the state line and manage to get into southern Wisconsin. A cold front is going to pass later as we go into your Sunday morning and bring down some drier air after we settle only into the 70s tonight. Any more rain chances for southern Wisconsin, we'll track them out in the full forecast.
All right, thank you, Blades. The community is mourning while continuing to call for justice after the funeral of Corey Ruiz. Yesterday, a funeral was held at Fountain of Life Church for Ruiz, who was shot and killed by a Madison police officer last month. His death led to citywide protests with people calling for accountability. Joining their calls yesterday was civil rights leader Al Sharpton, who spoke at the service.
The way these activists have shown in this city the true spirit of what accountability and democracy is, they ought to be saluted, not attacked.
Many at the funeral saw the gathering not just as a moment to honor Ruiz, but to keep the focus on justice and accountability. Meanwhile, the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store on Madison's Willie Street is recovering after being forced to close after the deadly shooting of Ruiz. The shooting happened at the intersection in front of the store. St. Vincent de Paul says it's facing a $100,000 financial hit. Customer traffic at the store went down by more than 3,000 people compared to July of last year, but they say they weren't alone. Neighboring businesses were also affected by the road closures, vandalism, and dumpsters being stolen and set on fire.
It will take a while, not only for St. Vinny's on Willie Street, but for all of the neighborhood businesses, for people to come back, for people to say, oh yeah, it's easy to get there now, to not have to worry that they might not be able to drive down the street or they might not be able to park.
St. Vincent de Paul says it hopes all its customers will return and that community support can help recover the $100,000 lost during the closure. The man who crashed a tow truck into a Madison police officer's car will spend 18 years in prison. In April, Christopher Brugger was convicted of 13 felony charges stemming from a September crash last year. The crash left Officer Ryan Kimberly in the hospital for about a month. During a court hearing this week, the judge noted that Brugger has serious mental health issues and a criminal history dating back to when he was young, but that attempts at rehabilitating him have not worked. Brugger's prison sentence will be followed by 15 years of extended supervision. Now, the results of Tuesday's Democratic primary were a surprise and a reminder that polls don't vote, people do. Representative Francesca Hong led all 5 Marquette Law School polls heading into Tuesday's election, but when voters cast their ballots, David Crowley came out on top. According to poll director Charles Franklin, one big factor was the campaigns themselves, and a key limitation of polling, it's a snapshot of the race at a particular moment, not a guarantee of what will happen on Election Day.
Purely polling point of view, first of all, this shows that campaigns matter. And an unusually chaotic last month of this campaign is a prime example that campaigns can change the outcome in the last 2 weeks of a race in ways that people and polls don't see coming.
Join political reporter Ellie LaLiberte for an in-depth analysis of the primary election this coming Sunday morning at 10:30 on For the Record. Judge Chris Taylor is now officially on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Taylor defeated Judge Maria Lazar earlier this year to claim the seat. Her win expands the liberal majority on the state's highest court to 5-2, a dramatic transformation from 6 years ago when liberals held only 2 of the 7 seats. With the first day of classes less than a month away, families around Dane County are getting ready for the new school year. And part of getting ready means getting all those school supplies, from stationery to backpacks. But for some families, buying all of those things can be a tricky ask. And that's why the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County hosts their Stuff the Bus campaign. Now that it's over, our Maya Tate is explaining how you can still get involved and what it means for the community.
Stuff the Bus has ended, but support for kids in the community is still ongoing. Every year, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County host Stuff the Bus, an event focused on making sure kids in the area have access to school supplies.
Everybody needs a chance to have the tools to succeed, and I feel like this is a great thing that the community can directly connect with.
It's hard for kids and families to go about their day, to know how their school year is going to go if they can't plan for the supplies they need to be successful and get through their day.
This year, the club's goal was 600 backpacks filled. While the exact total is not yet known, longtime partners of Stuff the Bus say that the amount of donations received continue to grow each year.
This year has been incrementally much more donations and more money donations, on-site donations, and people from different organizations collecting at work and bringing it right to the bus. It has been beyond just what was expected.
Although, in the end, the purpose of Stuff the Bus is to come together and support Dane County students.
It's just unbelievable just bringing that awareness to the community about where, needs like this can really fill the gap. A little effort can make such a big difference to the community and supporting and just being there for each other.
Even though Stuff the Bus is over, you can still support the cause by going to the Boys and Girls Club's website and using the Amazon list or donating directly. Money donated is used to purchase school supplies that the club is low on. If you need supplies for your child, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County will be holding an open house on August 25th from 4 to 6. Reporting in Madison, Maya Tate, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Maya. Coming up, new strikes in the Strait of Hormuz, the current concerns as the war continues. But first, a storm in Hawaii is growing stronger. What we know about the hurricane.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Moving forward.
Hurricane Lala is lashing parts of Hawaii. The National Hurricane Center upgraded Lala from a tropical storm to a Category 1 hurricane. That means the storm is packing winds of at least 75 miles per hour. The storm is already striking parts of Hawaii with strong winds and heavy rain. Forecasters say Lala is expected to make landfall on the Big Island, and if that happens, it would be the first hurricane to directly strike the state in more than 30 years. Governor Josh Green has declared a statewide emergency. Let's get a look at your first warn forecast, Blaze. Hopefully no hurricanes here, right?
No, if there's a hurricane headed towards Wisconsin, we have much bigger problems. But it will be interesting to see how the remnants of Lala impact weather to our west, because that will eventually impact us. So it will be interesting to see how post-hurricane she moves through the atmosphere. In the meantime, we're going to be dealing with a little bit of rain this evening, clearing out as we head into the second half of Sunday, remaining quiet through, I would say, Monday late afternoon. From there, we'll start to see some clouds return and our next chance for rain shortly following that. Overnight Saturday into the rest of Sunday, we'll take Futurecast into the early morning hours. A cold front will eventually pass, and by doing so, it's going to bring down some drier air as we head into your Sunday afternoon. Folks further to the east, Dodge, Jefferson, Walworth counties, we're going to be slightly warmer than folks to the west because that cold front will not have brought down that cooler air in time for us to really cool on down by the afternoon. Folks to the west, though, we will. We'll probably only be a few degrees cooler, but still cooler. All of us will be drier as well. We'll take a look at the dip in the muggy meter in just a moment, but we will get a break from this humidity as we go not only overnight Sunday, but into your Monday as well. In fact, waking up on Monday, you might want to break out the sweatshirts. We're going to be into those 50s to low 60s. And then when the humidity starts to return, so do our rain chances as we head into your Tuesday, impacting the morning commute most likely, especially further to the north. We get a break as we head into the late morning, and then by the late afternoon, early evening, along the exiting cold front, we see the return of showers and thunderstorms. There is a chance that some of that thunderstorm activity off towards Iowa may be severe along that cold front. I would like it to stay there. We get the rain, and then when that cold front passes, we watch that humidity drop again. So this is a Sunday's cold front moving on through. This is that nice break from the muggy air that's currently overhead. As we go throughout your Monday, enjoy it. Tuesday, it starts to ramp back up, but not as bad as where we are now. So we just have to add a little bit more moisture back into the atmosphere to get the rain for Tuesday. Once that cold front passes, the mugginess goes back down. As you can see, our rain chances really stay minimal into the second half of next week. So hopefully we can get some beneficial rain. Hopefully we squeeze out or don't see any severe weather as we go into Tuesday. We'll, of course, keep an eye on it. In terms of what we could squeeze out of the atmosphere, anybody in the blue, that's at least a half an inch. So we're looking at a decent amount of rain or some beneficial rain, I would say, between the 16th and the 22nd. There's a look at your 10-day forecast. Quiet Thursday through that following weekend next week. Temperature-wise, 70s and 80s over the next 7 to 10 days, starting off the second half of August on a pretty pleasant side.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm going to be so honest with you. Didn't hear anything you said after you said sweater weather, because all I was thinking about is finally putting on my sweater, finally feeling like it's fall. It's arguably the best temperatures of the year. Yeah. I love my sweater weather.
Yeah, I would say it's better than spring, even though they're almost like the same. But
because spring you get the allergies.
True, and we're getting drier. We're not getting more of that like humid air. So I think I can't wait.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Blaze. Turning overseas, Iran is still insisting this weekend it's the rightful owner and ruler of the Strait of Hormuz. This comes amid new strikes in the strait and ongoing concerns about the USS Lincoln's long deployment in the region. CBS News' Aaron Navarro has the latest.
Tensions remain high in the Middle East, with the UAE accusing Iran of launching a strike Friday night on one of its oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. It comes after Iranian-backed Houthis attacked a crucial port in the Red Sea that's controlled by the internationally recognized Yemeni government. Analysts say the attack reflects how Iran is turning up the pressure on U.S. allies in the Middle East. All of this comes as President Trump insists the war with Iran is going well.
And after we finish defeating Iran, which is being very badly defeated, pretty soon I'll be declaring the Hormuz Strait a territory of the United States.
Iran fired back on that threat, vowing the strait will remain Iranian. On Friday, President Trump downplayed reports of plummeting morale aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln during its lengthy deployment in the Middle East. When a reporter asked if the deployment had gone on too long,
No, not nearly long enough.
But family members of sailors on board say conditions have grown so bad, some crew members are trying to jump overboard. Some Democratic lawmakers are demanding answers from the Pentagon.
Conditions on the USS Abraham Lincoln are abhorrent. Lack of clean water and sufficient nutritious food, but also the mental strain and stress.
The USS George Washington is expected to replace the Lincoln soon, though timing remains unclear. Aaron Navarro, CBS News, Bridgewater, New Jersey.
Well, we've got a pretty packed sports lineup to look forward to, I guess.
On Saturday it always seems like we have that. So ahead, what's better than some Saturday night baseball with Jacob Mizorowski? The Miz was on the mound out in L.A. looking for a W against the Dodgers. Highlights from Dodger Stadium and more coming up next in sports.
And now, News 3 Now Sports, brought to you by TDS.
It was game 3 of 4 in a big series for the Brewers out west in L.A. taking on the Dodgers. The two best teams in the National League so far have split the first 2 games of the set. But tonight with the Miz on the mound, Bernie and the crew look to gain some insurance in the NL by taking down the reigning World Series champions. And we start in a hurry. How about the second inning when Joey Ortiz steps up to the plate and hits a high fly ball to straightaway left field. And this one barely squeaks over Teoscar Hernandez's glove, giving Milwaukee a 2-run lead. 2 innings later, why not William Contreras? It's deja vu right in that same area, just getting enough under it and adding 2 more on the board. Just like that, it's a 3-run lead for the crew, and a lead that would stay frozen to the 9th when Aaron Ashby shuts the door on the Dodgers. Milwaukee beats L.A. 4-1 the final, and the next game for the Brewers on television, Wisconsin, is Tuesday, August 18th at 6:40 against the Mariners. And in week 1 of the college football season last year, former Old Dominion quarterback Colton Joseph battled the eventual CFB national champions, the Indiana Hoosiers in Bloomington. Now at the time, the now current Wisconsin quarterback didn't know how good IU would end up being, but he was unknowingly going against one of the top defenses in the country and the soon-to-be best team in the nation. This time around, it is very similar, but one thing that is different is the junior transfer now knows what he's getting into, and that is a nationally ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish team with championship aspirations.
I mean, that was the top of the top competition, so that really helped me gain that experience of what it's like to play a team with that caliber. And I think I learned a lot in that game, you know, whether it's from actual football or just the mental side of it. And so I think coming into this year, that's helped me a lot, even through camp, you know, stepping up into the Big Ten, you know, going against a nice Big Ten defense here. So I think that's just really helped me get ready for the season.
When Jeff Hafley jumped from the Packers defensive coordinator to the Dolphins head coach, it meant it was time for a new DC in Titletown. But for Jonathan Gannon, he took the opposite route. The former Cardinals head coach signed with Green Bay back in January as the team's new head on defense. And heading into the preseason, Gannon, like hundreds of other coaches and players across the NFL, is learning new teams, new schemes, and new playbooks. And despite 2 long coaching careers in the NFL, Gannon and head coach Matt LaFleur have never worked together, leaving the time before the season crucial for the two to develop their relationship and chemistry on the gridiron.
I mean, I think that's always a balance each and every week or each year, especially when you got a new scheme coming in. What do you want to show? What don't you want to show? I'm not going to micromanage what he calls. You know, he's got to feel good about it, and certainly you want to give your guys a chance to go out there and make plays. You don't want to just sit back and, you know, play 3 deep or quarters on every snap. So I think that you got to pick and choose your moments of when to be aggressive.
Finally, tonight we are at the cusp of a new season for Wisconsin women's volleyball. Yesterday at the Fieldhouse, the Badgers took down Butler, sweeping the Bulldogs in the final exhibition match before the fresh campaign begins this upcoming week for Bucky. The team travels to Milwaukee on Friday, where they look for redemption against the Kentucky Wildcats in the AVCA First Serve event from Pfizer Forum. Head coach Kelly Sheffield and his team know now the wins and losses start to add up and can't wait for the season to start against the same team that ended their Final Four run just months ago.
Now the real season begins. Looking forward to going and playing in Milwaukee. And hopefully the fans that have been here through our 2 exhibitions are really excited, are as excited as I am, and I know our players are for this season.
Okay, question.
Yes.
If you could wake up tomorrow and immediately be a pro at any one sport.
Baseball, 100%.
Really?
Grew up playing baseball and hockey, but I don't know, something about the long stretch of baseball, 162 games, that appeals to my eyes for some reason, but baseball for sure.
Interesting, yeah. I think I would do maybe, I feel like badminton's the only sport
Badminton, okay, I did not expect that one.
I feel like that's the only sport I'm a little bit good at.
Okay.
So I feel like I could pick it up.
We'll
it's
have
kind
to
of fun
see the
hitting
badminton
that
skills
birdie.
sometimes. Yeah,
it makes
there you
noise
go.
like,
yeah.
It's kind of fun, right? They understand. You guys get me. Well, thank you, Nash. A final check of the first warn forecast is coming up when we return. Before we all say goodnight, what are we tracking, Blaze?
A few showers tonight. They'll last through the morning hours on Sunday. Cold front moves on through Sunday late morning, and that means that we're drying out, saying goodbye to the humidity for Monday. And then it'll return with some rain chances Tuesday before 70s Wednesday through the end of next week.
That sounds pretty nice. Like those temperatures.